There are some people who don't just play a character, they become it. And then there's Heath Ledger, the man who didn't just act as the Joker. He lived him, breathed him, and tragically, never came back. Today, we're diving into one of the most powerful, heartbreaking, and unforgettable stories in Hollywood history. This is the rise, the madness, and the legacy of Heath Ledger, the man who became the Joker forever. Born in Perth, Australia in 1979, Heath wasn't supposed to be a Hollywood legend. He was just a kid with messy blonde hair, a skateboard, and a dream. His teachers said he was too restless, too curious, too different, but that's what made him special. By 16, Heath packed his bag and left home, chasing something bigger. Acting wasn't just a job for him, it was his truth. His early films, like 10 Things I Hate About You, made him a teen heartthrob. But Heath wanted more than fame. He wanted depth. He turned down safe roles, the kind that make careers easy, because Heath wanted to feel something real. A Knight's Tale showed his charm, The Patriot showed his range, but Brokeback Mountain, that changed everything. Playing a quiet, conflicted cowboy, Heath gave a performance that broke hearts across America. He didn't just act, he spoke to the silence millions of people were living in. The Academy noticed, the world noticed, and so did Christopher Nolan. When Nolan offered him the Joker role, critics laughed. Heath Ledger, the romantic guy from Brokeback Mountain, playing the Joker, impossible. But Heath disappeared for 6 weeks, locked in a hotel room. He filled notebooks, wrote Joker's thoughts, his laughter, his madness. He experimented with voices, he practiced expressions in front of mirrors, and he created a monster so real, it scared even him. His Joker wasn't just evil, he was chaos, and chaos had never felt so alive. On set, Heath was unstoppable. He improvised the hospital explosion scene. That wasn't in the script. The way he licked his lips, the way he tilted his head, all of it was pure Ledger. Michael Caine once said, "He scared the life out of me." Heath's Joker was so alive, it almost consumed him. Between takes, he wrote strange thoughts in his diary, drawings of clowns, chaos, destruction. He said he couldn't sleep. The Joker's mind wouldn't let him. January 22nd, 2008. The world woke up to the news no one believed. Heath Ledger, gone, at just 28. A mix of prescription medicines, a life full of brilliance, suddenly silent. The industry froze. Fans cried on the streets of New York and Los Angeles. Even those who never met him felt like they'd lost a friend, because Heath wasn't just an actor. He was truth in a world full of masks. The Dark Knight released 6 months later, and when Heath appeared on screen, the world fell silent. The performance was haunting, hypnotic, perfect. He won the Oscar, posthumously. That golden statue wasn't just for him. It was for every dreamer who gives their soul to their art. Heath once said, "I feel like I'm wasting time if I repeat myself." He never did. Every role, every line, every look was different. And though he's gone, his laughter still echoes. Every time you watch The Dark Knight, every time that chilling laugh hits your spine, that's not just a movie. That's a man who gave everything he had for one final masterpiece. Greatness always has a price. For Heath, that price was peace. He once told an interviewer, "I'm building something inside me that's starting to scare me." He wasn't chasing fame anymore. He was chasing truth. And the deeper he went into his roles, the harder it became to return to being just Heath. That's the curse of the artist. They see the world too clearly, feel everything too deeply, and sometimes lose themselves in the process. His friends said he laughed less those days. He slept barely 2 hours a night, but when the camera rolled, he was unstoppable. Every shot, every gesture, pure genius. The Joker wasn't just a villain, he was a mirror, reflecting the chaos within all of us. Behind the chaos, there was a father, a man who loved poetry, chess, and his little daughter, Matilda. He wasn't the wild Hollywood star people imagined. He was gentle, funny, thoughtful. On set, he'd joke with the crew, talk about philosophy, art, and how much he missed his little girl. He once said, "I'm just trying to be a good dad." And that's the version of Heath few people saw. The artist, the father, the soul who wanted to leave something behind. Not just fame, but meaning. And he did. When Heath passed, Hollywood stopped. Outside his New York apartment, thousands of fans left letters, flowers, drawings. Across Los Angeles, movie theaters dimmed their lights. Actors, directors, even critics, everyone felt that the world had lost someone irreplaceable. Gary Oldman said, Heath wasn't acting, he was channeling something. And that's what it felt like, as if the Joker wasn't just a role, but a force that came through him and then vanished, taking him along. The 2009 Oscars became one of the most emotional moments in film history. His family accepted the award, not as a goodbye, but as proof that his art will never die. Even today, every actor who dares to play the Joker walks in Heath's shadow. Jared Leto tried, Joaquin Phoenix redefined it, but Heath became it. Every laugh, every twitch, every scar became part of cinema's DNA. Directors study him, actors quote him, because in just one lifetime, Heath Ledger created something that no one could repeat. He showed the world that madness can be art, that pain can be poetry, and that even chaos can have beauty. Maybe Heath Ledger's story isn't just about loss. Maybe it's about how deeply a human can feel, how far someone can go for art, and how, even after death, his spirit still performs every time that laughter fills a dark theater. Because legends don't really die. They just fade into the reel of time, leaving behind frames that never stop playing. Heath Ledger didn't just give us a movie, he gave us a piece of himself, and that's something no camera could ever capture. Dedicated to Heath Ledger, 1979-2008. You either die a hero, or you live long enough to see yourself become the villain. And maybe Heath Ledger did both. If Heath Ledger ever inspired you, drop it in the comments below, and tell me which Heath performance gave you chills.